ground are fundamental tissue system.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's very very important. This is also ground are fundamental tissue system. So fundamental tissue system, the tissues that do not come under the epidermal and vascular tissue systems that constitute the fundamental or ground tissue system. Okay, so see here, it includes all the tissues except epidermal and vascular tissue systems. So epidermal tissue system is over, and vascular tissue system already we discussed in this class. Okay, it is the largest tissue system. The ground or fundamental tissue system is largest tissue system. It occupies larger areas of the plant body, that it begins from the layer just beneath the epidermis and continues up to the center of the plant body. It mainly consists of parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, latispherous tissue, and secretory tissue, etc. may be present. Okay, so it mainly consists of those we are already completed, that tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, latispherous tissue, secretory tissue. Okay, so ground tissue can be divided into two types, that is extrastellar ground tissue, intrastellar ground tissue. So in this, the greater bulk of this tissue is composed of parenchymatous cells, but varying amount of collenchyma, sclerenchyma, glandular and latispherous tissues may also enter into its composition. That is the ground or fundamental tissue system. So in the higher plants, the vascular bundles occupy the central position. It's known as stele. Already we discussed it. Okay, so that the ground tissues occurring outside the stele form the cortex, which may be called external or extrastellar ground tissue. Okay, so already we know what is that. In the center, the stele is there. Outer side of the stele, that cortex is present. Okay, so that cortex, which may be called external or extrastellar ground tissue. Similarly, the ground tissues occurring inside the stele constitute the pith or intrastellar ground tissue. Okay, so these ground tissue can be divided into two types: extrastellar ground tissue, intrastellar ground tissue. Okay, next come to the extrastellar ground tissue. So see here, extrastellar ground tissue is present outside of the stele. Extra means outer side. Okay, it is envelops the stele. It is commonly called cortex. Cortex may be thin or massive. It can be divided into three zones. They are hypodermis, general cortex, endodermis. This is very simple structure of the stem. So already you know which one is called cortex. Okay, so the ground tissue present between the epidermis and the stele, it is called cortex. So which one is called cortex? It is present between the epidermis and the stele. Okay, outer layer is called epidermis. So in the center part is called stele. In between the epidermis and stele, that part is called cortex. It is variable in thickness and consists of only a few layers of the cells. It may be quite massive. It is essentially composed of thin-walled parenchyma cells. The cells may be rounded, polygonal, cylindrical, or may be stellate in shape. The cells show prominent intracellular spaces, and in some cases, these spaces are quite big and form air spaces, that chloroplasts may be present in all or some of the cortical cells. So the scleroids, resin ducts, and oil cavities and latispheres may also occur in the cortex. So in the cortex region, already you know, in the stem anatomy, you observed in the cortex some different types of cells are present. Okay, those are filled with the some are scleroids and resin ducts. In the pinus stem structure, resin ducts are present in the pinus. Okay, already you know some same like that. Some oil cavities are present, and some latispherous. So in the cortex region, we are observed see these different types of cells. starch grains and tannins and crystals of various types are the common inclusions. So these are the structure of the cortex. In the dicot stems, the outer layer of cortex become transformed into supporting tissue and is called hypodermis. See here, it can be divided into three zones, that is hypodermis, general cortex and endodermis. See here, so from the current slide, okay, see here. So which one is called hypodermis? That is, in the dicot stem, that outer layer of cortex become transformed into supporting tissue. It is called hypodermis. See here, this is the epidermidal hair. This is the cuticle. Black color coat is that is cuticle. This is the epidermis, collenchyma, chlorenchyma, and parenchyma, and this is the endodermis. Okay. See here, this it is present just beneath the epidermis. It is also called subepidermis. It is consists of a few layers of collenchyma or sclerenchyma. See here, this part below the epidermis and still these three parts belongs to hypodermis. Okay, collenchyma may be present as patches at the ridges in stems with wavy outlines. See here, this is the collenchyma. That wavy outline is present in between the collenchyma cells, and at the corners in angular stems are as continuous bands just beneath the epidermis. See here, in some organs, sclerenchyma. See here, sclerenchyma is absent. This is the chlorenchyma. Okay, chlorophylls are present in the cells. See here, green color. Okay, that is the chlorenchyma. So these empty cells are belongs to parenchyma. Okay, so this is about the hypodermis. The remaining part of the cortex is called the general cortex. The innermost layer of the endodermis. In most of the monocotyledon stems, the cortex is not distinct. There being present a general ground tissue. So in these type of arrangement we are observed in the dicot stems only. Differentiation of collenchyma, sclerenchyma, parenchyma. But in the monocotyledon stems, that differentiation is not there. That all cells are in same structure. Okay, that is ground tissue. Same general ground tissue is there. Hypodermis is collenchymatous in the stems and the leaves of dicots. So this in the stems and leaves of dicots, in the leaf structure of dicotyledons and the stems of the dicotyledons, we are observed this collenchymatous, sclerenchymatous. We are observed that it is sclerenchymatous in stems and leaves of monocots. Sclerenchyma is present in monocots also, but the cortex of the most is more homogeneous as it consists of only parenchyma cells. Cortex of the root. So whenever we are observed the root structure, in the root anatomy, the cortex of the root is more homogeneous as it is consists of only parenchymatous cells. In the root anatomy, we are observed that only parenchymatous cells, but in the stems and leaves of monocots and dicotyledons, some sclerenchyma, collenchyma, chlorenchyma, differentiation is there. Functions of the cortex. Cortex is primarily a protective tissue. It may be useful for storage of food materials and for carrying out photosynthesis. Okay, so chlorenchyma is there that going to take the photosynthesis. So only that functions of hypodermis. See here, in mature roots, the epidermis is replaced by a layer of suberized cells of hypodermis. This layer is called exodermis. Only we are observed in the some mature roots that mature roots having the epidermis is replaced by the suberized cells. The cells are made up of with suberin. Okay, so that hypodermis outer layer is formed with the suberin, so that is called suberized cells of hypodermis. This layer is called exodermis. Actually, that layer is called exodermis. In mature roots, we are observed that exodermis. Okay, exodermis means what? That outer layer of cells are formed with the suberin. Okay, so in some mature roots, we are observed that. Functions of hypodermis: when the epidermis is degenerated in roots, the hypodermis protects the inner tissues. It gives mechanical strength to the stem. Hypodermis provides mechanical support. Okay, that is hypodermis. Coming to the general cortex. So in the general cortex, already you know that it is present beneath the hypodermis. It consists of a few or many layers of parenchyma. Okay, this is the cortex. Okay, that parenchyma cells are isodiametric and loosely arranged. Parenchyma means that cells are arranged loosely. The cells contain chloroplast or amyloplast, tannins, oils, crystals, and some having the sclerites, resin ducts, oil cavities, latticephorus. Already we discussed it. Okay, so in the root, that cortex having the parenchymatous, but in the monocot stem is not well developed. This is the about the general cortex. Coming to the functions of general cortex, so it protects the inner tissue. The cells containing chloroplast carry out photosynthesis. Which cells having the chloroplast? That carrying the photosynthesis. The cells containing leucoplast store food materials. Okay, that is store the food materials. It in the roots, the cells play a role in transport of water from epidermis to xylem basils. This is functions of general cortex. And coming to the endodermis, this is the third layer. And see here, orange color is there in this diagram. Please see here, this is the endodermis. Okay, orange color. Endodermis is the innermost layer of cortex. Okay, this is the innermost layer. The cells are elongated with the axis of parallel to vascular tissues. In the transverse section, they are tabular in shape. The cells are compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. Please remember this. This is very very important. That waxy substance called suberin. It is present on radial and transverse walls in the form of bands or strips. Okay, so in the endodermis, sometimes in the MSc entrance or BAd entrance, this question is asking which part having the Casparian strips. Only endodermis. Okay, remember this. That a waxy substance is called suberin. It is present on radial and transverse walls in the form of bands or strips. Okay, in that internal structure, it having the strips or bands. These suberin strips were first observed by the Caspari. Okay, scientist name Caspari in the year 1865. Hence, these strips are called Casparian strips. So, based on the scientist name given, that is Casparian strips. It is present in only endodermis. Okay, it's very very important. That is about the endodermis. In some cases, the inner and radial walls are all walls are very thick. This condition is seen in monocotyledon's root. See here, this is the endodermis. This last layer of the steel. Okay, so that is innermost layer of the cortex is called endodermis. The thin-walled cells occur opposite to protoxylem elements. The thin-walled cells are called passage cells or transfusion cells. They help in entry of water into the xylem from the cortex. So this is about the
Madam,
endodermis. Ah,
PPT
చెప్పనా?
is not showing, madam. Hypodermis PPT ఉంది.
అవునా? Wait. So I'm going to slideshow that it's not moving. Okay, only hypodermis. Huh?
Which one?
Now it is okay.
General cortex, madam.
Okay, this is the hypodermis.
Endodermis is ma'am.
You want endodermis slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, endodermis is innermost layer of the cortex. Are you understood up to endodermis?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the endodermis structure, that Casparian strips is the important point. Okay, so you observe that Casparian strips are there in the endodermis structure. That is given, that first observed by the Caspari scientist in the year 1865. Okay, so that is the radial and transverse walls in the form of that like bands or strips. Okay, those are called Casparian strips. It is present only in endodermis. So see here, this is the structure of endodermis in enlarged structure. The thin-walled cells are called passage cells or transfusion cells. They help in the entry of water into the xylem from the cortex. This is about the endodermis. And in the young stems of some angiosperms, the innermost layer of cortex contains abundant starch grains. So some cells having the starch grains. So in some angiosperms, that innermost layer of the cortex contains the abundant starch grains. This layer is called a starch sheath. So which cells having the starch grains? Those that layer is called a starch sheath. Starch sheath is considered homologous to endodermis. Okay. Some angiosperms we are observed that functions of endodermis. PPT is visible. Functions of endodermis.
Ma'am.
Yes, endodermis acts as a watertight layer and prevents the flow of water from steel into cortex. It checks the entry of air in xylem elements to promote ascent of sap. In old monocot roots, protects the inner tissues when cortex is destroyed. In dicot stems, it stores the food material. Sometimes cork cambium develops from the endodermis. These are the functions of endodermis. Main, you have to observe that it is a watertight layer. Entry of the air in the xylem elements to promote the ascent of sap. These are the very important functions of endodermis. Okay. So, all are you understood up to endodermis? This is up to here, that is extracellular ground tissue system. So hypodermis, cortex and endodermis, these three parts belongs to extracellular region, outer part of the stellar position. Okay, సో స్టీలార్ కి అంటే స్టీల్ కి ఏవైతే బయట వైపు ఉన్నాయో ఎక్స్ట్రా స్టీలార్ టిష్యూ సిస్టమ్స్ అంటున్నాం. అది దట్ ఎపిడర్మిస్ సారీ cortex means hypodermis, cortex general cortex and endodermis. These three belongs to extracellular region. Come to the intracellular ground tissue system. These it is present in the steel. Okay, the intracellular ground tissue is present in the steel. It consists of three zones. They are pericycle, pith, medullary race. Please remember this. Extracellular ground tissue system means hypodermis, general cortex and endodermis. Intra means inner side of the steel. స్టీల్లో మనకి వాస్కులర్ బండిల్స్ కాకుండా ఇంకేం పార్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి అంటే దట్ ఈస్ పెరిసైకిల్, పిత్ అండ్ మెడుల్లరీ రేస్. ఓకే, నో కన్ఫ్యూజన్, ఇట్స్ వెరీ క్లియర్. ఓకేనా, నన్ను అర్థమైందా ఇది? Coming to the pericycle. So first part is the pericycle. Pericycle is a region consisting of one or more layers of the cells which surrounded the vascular tissues. See here, మీకు పెరిసైకిల్ అనేది ఇందాక చూసారు చూడండి ఇక్కడ. సో ఇక్కడ రెడ్ కలర్ లో ఉంది చూసారా, ఎండోడర్మిస్. బిలో ద ఎండోడర్మిస్ రెడ్ కలర్ cycle is that cells are called pericycle. Okay, so these which surrounded the vascular tissues. It is present in between the endodermis and vascular tissues. ఇంకా దీనికి బయట వైపు ఏది ఉంటుంది? ఎండోడర్మిస్. ఇన్నర్ సైడ్ ఏముంటుంది? వాస్కులర్ టిష్యూస్ ఉంటాయి. It is considered as the outer region of the steel. దీన్ని ఏమంటాం మనం? Outer region of the steel is called a pericycle. It consists of one or more layers of cells. In general, mostly only single layer is present. Pericycle, it is present at the below the endodermis. It is parenchymatous in roots. In stems, pericycle consists of parenchyma and sclerenchyma. సో స్క్లీరెన్కైమా కనబడ్డది అంటే దట్ ఈస్ స్టెమ్ అనుకోవాలి. రూట్స్ అంటే ఓన్లీ పారెన్కైమాటస్ సెల్స్. పెరిసైకిల్ ఈజ్ absent in hydrophytes, parasites and monocot stem. Please remember this last point. It's very, very important. Pericycle is absent in hydrophytes, parasites and monocot stem. Pericycle is absent in which plants?
Hydrophytes.
Okay, good. Next. parasites and monocot stem also. Okay, hydrophytes, parasites, monocot stems. The pericycle is absent in hydrophytes, parasites and monocot stem. So what are the functions of pericycle? It is the seat of origin of lateral roots. In dicot roots, cambium originates from the pericycle. In the dicot roots, cambium originates from the pericycle. So at the time of secondary growth, cambium is originates from the pericycle. During the anomalous secondary growth, the secondary cambium originates from the pericycle. The adventitious roots which develop from stems arise from the pericycle. The thick-walled pericycle provides mechanical support, and the parenchyma cells of pericycle helps in storage of food materials. Pericycle may contain secretory ducts and latticeous tissue also. These are the functions of pericycle. Remember this? So at the time of secondary growth, anomalous secondary growth, that cambium, okay, cambium originates from the pericycle. So in this roots, it is filled with the only parenchymatous cells, but stems, sclerenchymatous cells are also present. This is about the pericycle. Okay, next come to the pith or medulla. So the pith is the ground tissue present at the central region of the stele. See here, this is the pith, center part. It is present inner to vascular bundles. Vascular bundles ki inner lopala untundannamata. Pith is massive in dicot stems and monocot roots. In dicot roots, the pith is reduced or absent. Reduced or absent. Unte untadi ledante chala ksheeninchipoyi untadi anamata in the dicot roots. In monocot stems, it is absent. Please, this is an important point. In the monocot stems, it is absent. The pith consists of parenchyma cells. The cells are isodiametric in shape. They are loosely arranged with profuse intercellular spaces. So the pith or medulla. This is the present at center of the stele. The pith consists of parenchymatous cells. The cells are isodiametric in shape. It is present inner to vascular bundles. So in the dicot roots, the pith is reduced or absent. But in the monocot stems, it is absent. Okay? In the monocot stems, the pith is absent. See here that the walls are thin and made up of cellulose. The cells contain leucoplasts. Secretory tissues are frequently present. Fibers and sclerites may also be present. Latex vessels and latex cells and idioblast may also occur. So in many herbaceous plants, the pith is destroyed or partially or completely. As a result, a cavity is formed at the center of the stem. See here, this is the cavity. Okay. In many herbaceous plants, the pith is destroyed or partially or completely. So what is the result of this? That one cavity is formed at the center of the stem. This cavity is called pith cavity. Example, cucurbitaceae. మనం ఇప్పుడు cucurbitaceae సంబంధించిన ఏ ఫ్రూట్స్ కట్ చేసినా కూడా మధ్యలో ఇలా హోల్ వస్తుంది చూడండి, క్యావిటీ. ఓకే, ఈ విధంగా మనకి గ్యాప్స్ వస్తాయా లేదా కుకుర్బిటా కట్ చేసినప్పుడు? కీరా కట్ చేసి చూడండి ఒకసారి. పిత్ స్టోర్స్ water and food materials. Fibers and sclerates are present in the pith, provide the mechanical support. That is about the pith or medulla. Okay, next medullary rays or pith rays. So evaithe rays between the vascular bundles, that some gap is there, that is called medullary rays. Okay, medullary rays are the parenchymatous ground tissue present in between the vascular bundles. చూడండి నాన్న, ఇక్కడ ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ లో రెండు vascular bundles కి మిడిల్ లో ఏదైతే గ్యాప్ ఉంటుందో, that is called medullary rays. They are the extensions of the medulla. They are found only in dicot stems. Please remember this. Medullary rays are found only in dicot stems. They are absent in monocot stems and roots. చూడండి, monocot stems లో కానీ roots లో కానీ చూస్తే absent medullary rays అనేవి. These are found only in dicot stems. They are formed from primary meristems, hence they are called primary medullary rays. ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఫామ్ అవుతాయి ఇవి? They are formed from the primary meristems. So that's why we are called primary medullary rays. These are consists of 3 to 8 rows of parenchyma cells. The cells are radially elongated, compactly arranged, and thin-walled. This is about the medullary rays. See here that medullary rays connect the medulla with the cortex. They help in radial conduction of water and food materials between the cortex and medulla. During the secondary growth, some of the cells of medullary rays become meristematic and act as interfascicular cambium. So, in the roots, xylem and phloem are separated by the ground tissue is called a conjunctive tissue. You observe that in the roots, xylem and phloem are separated by the ground tissue. That is called conjunctive tissue. Conjunctive anamata. So, రెండిటిని కలిపేది. In between the xylem and phloem, that some cells are connected with that. That is called conjunctive tissue. It is parenchymatous and on its sclerenchymatous, it produces a part of cambium in dicot roots. So, we are observed in the dicot roots that is there. Okay, that is the medullary rays. Come to the ground tissue system of the leaf. So we observed from here roots and stems we are observed, but come to the leaf, ground tissue system of the leaf is called mesophyll. Ground tissue system is called of the leaf is called mesophyll. Chala simple gaane untundi, but don't worry. So what is the specialization is there? You remember that. See here, it is present in between the upper and lower epidermal layers. This is a pink colored layer is called upper and lower epidermal layers. It consists of thin-walled parenchyma cells. The cells contain a large number of chloroplasts. Green colored cells anni kuda having the chloroplasts. Such a parenchyma is called chlorenchyma. Chloroplasts unnai kabatti emanta chlorophylls chlorenchyma anta. In dicotyledonous leaves, mesophyll is differentiated into two types of cells. They are palisade and spongy parenchyma. Already you know which one is called palisade and spongy. Okay, so ఏవైతే స్టాండింగ్ లో ఉన్నాయో దట్ సెల్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ palisade mesophyll, and those spongy ఈ విధంగా మనకి ఇక్కడ కింద ఉంది కదా, సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ spongy mesophyll cells. And chloroplasts are abundant in mesophyll cells. The number of chloroplasts in more is palisade parenchyma. Some leaves palisade parenchyma is present on both the sides, Nerium and eucalyptus. See here, palisade parenchyma అనేది ఏదైతే స్టాండింగ్ సెల్స్ ఉన్నాయో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ palisade parenchyma. Both the sides and upper and lower epidermis having the both the sides that palisade parenchyma. Example, Nerium and eucalyptus. Please note this point. Nerium and eucalyptus having the both the sides of the leaf palisade parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma is present both the sides of the upper and lower epidermis. Okay, so next coming to the monocotyledonous leaves, mesophyll is undifferentiated. Okay, dicotyledonous leaves లో కనుక చూస్తే మనకి mesophyll అనేది differentiate అయింది, palisade and spongy parenchyma. But here monocotyledonous mesophyll, it is not undifferentiated and consists of more or less with isodiametric cells intercellular spaces. Example, spongy parenchyma. But in the sclerites are present at the nymphia and the secretory cells. Nymphia, secretory cells, it may be present. Eucalyptus lo undachu undakapochu. That is spongy parenchyma untundi, and the sclerites are presented in nymphia leaves. Okay, see here, this is the spongy parenchyma. Upper epidermis, lower epidermis, xylem, phloem, bundle sheath. This at the center, that is called a mesophyll. Okay, so see here, ground are fundamental tissue system. Extrastellar ground tissue, hypodermis, general cortex, and endodermis. Intrastellar ground tissue, pericycle, pith, medullary rays, and functions. Come to the mesophyll. In the leaf structure, palisade and spongy parenchyma. These all are about the ground or fundamental tissue system. All of you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? If you have
Regarding
any
of this
doubts,
class,
please.
my dear friends, if you have any doubts, Madam will going to clarify your doubts, my dear friends. Madam has clearly explained about the fundamental tissues or ground tissue. సో గ్రౌండ్ టిష్యూకి సంబంధించినటువంటి పూర్తి సమాచారం మేడం గారు ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఇందులో మేజర్ గా మనకి దీనికి సంబంధించి మనకి ఏదైతే గ్రౌండ్ టిష్యూస్ కు సంబంధించి ఎన్ని రకాలు ఉన్నాయి వాటికి సంబంధించి మీకు ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే మేడం గారు క్లియర్ చేస్తారు. అదర్వైజ్ ఐ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు వైండ్ అప్ ద సెషన్. మేడం థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. టుమారో వి విల్ గోయింగ్ టు మీట్. I will inform in the WhatsApp group the time also. Thank you very much, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.